Anthropologists and historians have openly disclosed the recent ethnic construction of the Slavic-speaking people of Fyrom and distanced themselves from any ancient hyperbole. Others have likened Skopia and certain diasporic elements' antiquization insistence as a likely outgrowth of an inferior Slav syndrome, perceived and embodied in the national identity and fearful of being equated as a new Balkan upstart. Essentially, the theory of creating, inventing, fabricating ancient roots to provide instant ethnic legitimacy is in effect the Gordian knot, which unfortunately for Fyrom has yet to find Alexander's intuition. What then is it that makes a segment of Fyrom society seek their identity in antiquity? We know from reading many of the diasporic articles that there is no shame in misappropriating historical material for nationalistic consumption. For instance, we have seen how on certain web pages, diasporic individuals have altered the original Carnegie report of the Balkan Wars in 1912-13 to deliberately change and substitute every ethnic Bulgarian village in Macedonia and unwittingly Thrace to a more digestible reading along nationalistic lines for their national narrative, while attempting to completely erase every Bulgarian presence from pre-Yugoslav Macedonia. This has also been the case where the Bulgarian language has been concerned. The present Slavic language of Fyrom was first codified in 1944 to purposely cleanse it of what was considered by the authorities to be too close to Bulgarian, something Fyrom has yet to properly address. The question that should be asked here is, does the reassembling of various Bulgarian dialects constitute a new language and identity? Much of the original Bulgarian alphabet that was taught throughout the region of Slavic speakers was substituted with Serbian attributes, while we also learned Bulgarian in America, and after nearly 35 years of research in the Macedonian region of Greece, Bulgaria, Albania and Fyrom, he has still to meet a villager who he did not understand. Sure, many of the Bulgarian dialects spoken could be a little challenging at first, but it was never problematic in conducting his interviews. To conduct research, one needs a good command of language, knowledge of customs, and most importantly, mutual respect. It became obvious last year, while on a field trip researching the dialects in the southern Balkans, that the Bulgarian speakers in the region of Thrace could, as we could, understand with amusing ease the Slavonic or Bulgarian spoken in Fyrom, Albania, Greece and Bulgaria. One should normally ask, how is it possible that a number of Bulgarians from Komotini in Thrace, which is in Greece, were able to clearly understand the Slavic spoken in Kastoria, Ohrid, Koche and Koche Delchev in Bulgaria, if it is a supposed distinct separate language to Bulgarian, as some linguists attempt to claim. The Slavic language of Fyrom was recognized as an international language only after the assistance of the linguist Horace Lunt. One begs the question, had the highly admired linguist, that is Lunt, not endorsed the newly codified language in Skopia, would Tito, with Stalin's assistance have continued on his anti-Bulgarian ethnic construction in the newly born Yugoslav state. Stalin was nevertheless quite clear, creating new ethno-linguistic national identities seemed to be normal practice in the Soviet Union. Example, Belarusian. Yet, in the last 30 years, many Slavic linguists have made it clear that the Slavic spoken in present-day Fyrom is as different to Bulgarian as Austrian is to German, American to English, Brazilian to Portuguese, or Mexican to Spanish. It is said that the difference between a language and a dialect is that unity brings about a dialect, and with separation, a language. This model fits like a glove with Fyrom's past. Under Ottoman rule, Bulgarian dialects were present from the Black Sea across to Lake Ohrid. With the recreation of Tito's post-World War II Yugoslavia, the regional Bulgarian dialects were subsequently stripped, raped, and reproduced as a new language, complete with a new Yugoslav state border and identity. Unlike Slovenian and Serbo-Croatian, which are not mutually intelligible to Bulgarian speakers, although a superficial understanding can take place, the Slavic speakers of Fyrom have a linguistic bond to Bulgarian, even after the fervent though flawed attempts in the post-World War II period to cleanse the dialect of its Bulgarian roots. There are those Slavic linguists who adamantly espouse the distinctive quality of the language spoken in Fyrom, but one needs to take their assertions with a grain of salt. In the end, it is noteworthy to mention that no matter how much linguistic engineering took place in 1944, even with Lunt's approval, the social construction of Fyrom's language was absolutely incapable, if not outright inept, of erasing its Bulgarian origins. Elsewhere, and quite disappointingly, there has been the Fyrom government's constant refusal to assist local and foreign research on the subject of the country's ethnogenesis. For example, for many years, applications have failed to assess post-World War II archives in Skopia to understand the mass and sometimes brutal enforcement of the erasure of Bulgarian surname suffixes of "ev" for the masculine, over "eva" for the feminine, into "ovski" or "evski, in a period when Tito accepted both a newly constructed ethno-linguistic Yugoslav identity with a newly created Yugoslav state. Research revealed that every region of the newly created post-World War II Yugoslav state was forced by the Skopia authorities of the time, sometimes under pain of death, to change their Bulgarian surnames into their newly constructed identities. It has remained one of the most secretive periods of Fyrom's past and continues to assert much hate among the few surviving older generation who as children remember those terrible times. Many of the eyewitness accounts retell the horrific events that led to the sufficient rebaptism of the general populace. For example, many who refused to change their Bulgarian family names were first beaten in front of their families and then forced to watch the rape of their wives, daughters and mothers before being led away, mostly never to be seen again. This period of enforced ethnogenesis has and still remains one of the most tragic stains of selective amnesia on the country's conscience. My dear friends, thank you once again for tuning into the Macedonian program. We shall continue